I think what makes ONS special is that it has everything that makes academic medicine great. We have the fellowship-trained specialists, but we still bring the style and type of medicine that's indicative of a community practice.
We are all trained in our area of interest and expertise, so our patients see a doctor who specializes in their particular injury.
I did have 2 consults with major New York City hospitals, but I just felt that the care was best here. I was treated like a rock star. The surgery exceeded any expectations that I had.
Good afternoon, good evening. This is John Broker here at the URugby Bowl Series Championship. We've just wrapped up an incredible weekend of rugby. I just wanted to bring you a couple more minutes, unless we fly away from Kansas, and talk about today. I'm here with Alex Goff, Goff Rugby Report. I'm here with Ryan Trost from This Is American Rugby, and I'm here with Matt McCarthy from Rugby Wrap Up, 3 of the premier rugby writers in America out of the 4. We're going to recap the games today. We're going to talk about some of our favorite players. We are going to talk about some of the best names that we heard. And then we're going to wrap up and talk about coming back next year. But let's start with the first game of today. We had the Blue Hens of Delaware and the Rams of Fordham in a really physical game to start off the day. Boys, you were in the booth. What was your take on it?
Well, it was really tight early on, halftime, 17-15. And we were impressed with the hard running from Fordham, and we thought maybe it would go that way the rest of the way. My pick had been Delaware because I thought they were toughened up by a Rugby East season. Turned out to be the case. Second half, Delaware said, "You know what? We're gonna win something. We're gonna end this with a win." And they took control. John Abram, his final game for Delaware after helping bring that team back from suspension, very emotional for him. And he did a terrific job.
Right. And you rooted against Delaware in your picks there, Ryan.
I wouldn't say I was rooting against them.
You picked
at all.
against them.
Clearly rooting against them.
You're right on at the
Jeez.
halftime, right?
I was close to halftime, but no, I think Delaware, like you said, came in very hungry, and they decided at halftime that they were going to fight through whatever they had to fight through to do it, and they showed patience and they showed tenacity, and I was very impressed with Tommy Abrams. A lot of smart plays and really leading his young guys, and Osanubi, he's got a great future in front of him.
All right. Yeah, just a fantastic game. And just, for me, my favorite part of that game was that Struan Murray didn't give himself a heart attack. Calm down, coach. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Very vocal coach, very passionate on the sidelines, but really wanted to see his boys perform, and they certainly pulled it out. And, we'll move on to the next game because, what was that? University of Massachusetts Minutemen played someone.
I don't know.
Who did they play? Matt McCarthy?
That would be the University of Buffalo, Bob.
University of Buffalo, notorious alumni. Matt McCarthy.
University at Buffalo. Right?
University at Buffalo, the Bulls. You can sing the song.
Buffalo. Put them all together and you get a Buffalo.
Great game there, very physical, but somebody had to come out on top. What were your thoughts on the game?
I thought it was a great game. UMass, the Minutemen, played 80 minutes of rugby, right? And they lived up to their name. University of Buffalo, 4 seniors in the lineup, young team, but those seniors played well. And we got some names to name later on in our name contest, and one of them is going to be the man, Mr. Singh. But they played a great match, 2 great programs. Tip your caps to the Minutemen.
And the Minutemen came away. Buffalo, really good game, really physical game. A couple of big boys on that Minuteman team made a lot of difference in my book for them. They just had a lot of power coming through there and were able to pull that one away. And then our final game that we just saw here was Loyola University Maryland fell to Binghamton University. Probably the 2 teams from furthest apart geographically. And just a great way to end it off. I don't think the score line was indicative of how the game went. I thought Loyola was a little more structured in some ways, but Binghamton pulled it away. Alex?
Well, first half, Binghamton scores 10 points, and then they're pinned in their end for a good portion of that first half, and it looks like it's going to be, on a knife edge the whole time. But then Binghamton just started to really sort of roll downhill. They did have the wind at the back, and they used it. They've got a great goal kicker in Brandon Healy, and we talked about Nick Coppola, the short of stature but big of heart prop, lots of skills, lots of running. Lots of smart rugby, and they rolled at the end, and I understand. I thought Loyola showed a lot of flashes.
Anybody else thoughts on this last game?
You saw that too?
Yeah, I really liked Binghamton coming out hard right in the start of that second half and putting 3 scores on them, bang, 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 and then it was just all uphill from there for Loyola.
And Loyola, got to say, just never said die. Really came at it the whole time. Playing into the 80th minute there, scoring a late try. A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores in that team. I think we're going to see a lot more out of Loyola in the years to come. Great Jesuit school down there in Maryland, drawing a lot of players in with previous rugby experience. I think it's a fantastic thing. We're just going to take a minute here, and we're going to talk about our favorite players for the weekend and great players we saw. And I'm just going to steal some people's thunder right now to make it hard for you guys and talk about the undersized flanker, Nandarjeet Singh from where?
From University of Buffalo, that's right.
And Lynn, the Colorado boy, Christopher Lynn on Loyola, Maryland. Work rate, work rate, work rate. Unless these guys hit a growth spurt in the early 20s, they're probably not going to go on and play national team rugby because they're, 5'7", 5'8". But work rate, work rate, work rate. We're involved in everything and just had a huge impact on the game. Players that stood out for you guys?
Well, one of the players that we didn't get an award to was, and I'm forgetting his first name, Murray, number 8 for Delaware. He just cleans up garbage. And
Terrence?
it could be Terrence. And Baker. Excuse me, Murray Baker, the number 8 for Delaware. And that's the thing. He's doing unsung things. I'm going to remember his name. And Stroan Murray said to me about him is that he does all the things that most players don't want to do, and he revels in that. And I tip cap to that one. And well, actually, I've got another one, but when we talk about names, I'll talk about him. So.
Okay.
I would say from Fordham, the captain, number 4, Lambert, right? No, not Lambert. Daniels. He was excellent, and when they lost him, a big difference happened for them. They were having a hard time staying organized in the D.
All right. What University of Buffalo player stood out for you?
Well, a couple of them, but the obvious one was the undersized, unsung Singh, to steal your line from earlier. But Colton Kells, the captain, normally a flanker, playing number 12, played a whale of a game. Will Burke, prop, who's got some skills, to say the least. But on the other side of the ball for UMass, I think it was Ruther.
Yeah. Mike Ruther, the Fairfield Prep grad.
Yeah, he was the difference maker, the tall guy, reddish hair. He was dominant in the lineouts, and it forced University of Buffalo into some strategy where they didn't opt to kick to the corner. Instead, they took a scrum, late in the game, and it turned out to be a pivotal mistake.
All right, let's move on to our last segment here. We said it yesterday, we'll say it again. Everybody loves a good name. I'm going to make it harder for everybody else again because he's homeschooled, he's a junior, he's hard to miss. His name's William Gooch. The Gooch. The number 3, the tight head. If you're as old as we are, or I am anyway, you remember the Gooch was the bully on Different Strokes. The Drummond family had to deal with him in school, and we had the Gooch out here. The Gooch played a hard 80 minutes. I love you, brother. Favorite names?
Well, the name I'm going to go is also a player I thought did extremely well for Fordham, and that's Max Zhitnik, the son of Alexei Zhitnik, former NHL player, a very, very good player, hard-running flanker, loves the contact. And I asked him about it. I said, what does your dad think about you playing rugby? And he says it's man's game. So, it is a man's game, and he means that not to denigrate women who play rugby. He means it is a strong game, and it is you need to be strong and you need to be powerful to play it, and he respects it. And Max Zhitnik, for the name, for the pedigree, but also for the play.
All right.
For names, I'm going to go with Zephyr Lambert.
Love Zephyr.
Also for play, some unheralded stuff that we've talked about yet. He was really good all day. A lot of work rate for a big body like that.
All right, great. And finally to you.
Well, I've got 3. I've got my man Jack Longest from Loyola.
Nice for him.
Yeah, just Jack Longest. How you doing? You got Spencer Shorkey, the Shorkmeister from UMass, and what seemed a collective favorite. Thank you very much. There's only a 5-year English degree from University of Buffalo. Meninderjeet Singh. All right?
Absolutely. Sing loud, sing proud, buddy.
And we were able to say that name all game. We were pretty impressed with ourselves. So this has been the URugby Bowl Series for 2016. Thank you to Iona College, hosting it here in New Rochelle, New York at Mazzella Stadium. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to URugby and their amazing staff. Steve Ciano, Amy Ciano, keeping everything in order. Jimbo Ciano, John Ciano, newly named Lexiano, another brother in the family. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to Grace. Thank you for having us. We look forward to seeing you next year. Colleges, you know you want to be in this bowl series. Come back and join us. I'm John Broker, again with Alex Goff, Ryan Trost, and Matt McCarthy. That's a wrap for our weekend. We're going to stop talking for about 2 days apiece, and we'll see you next time.
I think what makes ONS special is that it has everything that makes academic medicine great. We have the fellowship-trained specialists, but we still bring the style and type of medicine that's indicative of a community practice.
We are all trained in our area of interest and expertise, so our patients see a doctor who specializes in their particular injury.
I did have 2 consults with major New York City hospitals, but I just felt that the care was best here. I was treated like a rock star. The surgery exceeded any expectations that I had.